What's going on, team? How we doing out there? Welcome back to At the Close. We're going to take a look at all the action, of course, what happened today. Stay tuned to find out. We'll take a look. Let's get right into the action. Let's go towards the Qs, the SPY. What are we going to get towards the close? It looks like we've been trying to get above this 399 on the SPY. Are we going to start seeing the takedown back below? That's what I'm trying to keep an eye out for. We went to that 400. We finally got to it today, 423. Now, will we start seeing a takedown right back towards 397? That's what I think we need to keep an eye out for. Of course, we did have a decent day today. Not the biggest and strongest day, I would say, but there are some areas that are strong right now. We'll talk a little bit about them. Let's get into the action. SPY now starting to trickle down, but let's get to the sectors. What's leading us right now? Technology having a decent day today. Let's talk a little bit about that. We can take a look at what had good moves there. Semiconductors having a decent day there. Will this strength continue? That's what I have to question. NVIDIA getting a nice little push back towards 176. Of course, this has come from back down at 115. If you think about it, that's about a 50% move up in NVIDIA. So it hasn't been a bad move in NVIDIA. And if you think about it, what do you guys think? Does this kind of look like a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders at the bottom? I know a lot of people were kind of starting to talk about that. Left, right shoulder here on NVIDIA. Now we're starting to get back through what I would consider the neckline. That's something to keep an eye out for. If we get towards 185, 190, I think you get that nice little breakout. We'll just have to wait on NVIDIA to see if it can continue making leaps up. Of course, the semiconductors weren't only NVIDIA, right? We also had TSM have a good day there. You guys can also see AMD have a decent day. We'll see what happens to these. AMD's not having that good of a push compared to, let's say, NVIDIA or TSM, but definitely something to keep in mind, right? And Meta has been strong for a long time. Will this hang on here? It's had a nice move. It went up there to 135.60s. We'll see if this actually starts to turn around. Wasn't a bad day for some of our leaders in tech, right? As Microsoft was able to climb the wall of worry this morning. They got a down hit on a ratings and were able to get right back up. I think that's important definitely to catch as you start seeing, of course, Microsoft making its way back. I was also taking a look at different stocks like Apple, right? Was that in the green today? And you can see we had a nice little pop. Didn't continue, but a nice little pop. We'll see what happens there. We're slightly above the open. Doesn't look too bad right now. And when you go to Google, you can see that we climbed up after that first downside action. Amazon's going to be your weak one of our leaders today. You can see that getting hit down, but it wasn't the only one then taking a hit, right? Specialty retail, you guys can see Baba also taking a little bit of a pullback too. So looks like specialty retail definitely took a little bit of a hit today. You guys can take a look. PDD pulling back, the JD pull back. There you guys see it. A little bit of a pullback from some of these names. Going to keep on watch to see what happens there in Amazon. It was trying to make a move. It looked like back above the 100. Wasn't able to do it today, cutting back towards 95. We'll see if it's able to pull back and find some buy the dippers, but not too bad of a move there in Amazon as of late. Got up there from 82, up there towards 99. Now turning around. We'll see if it gets back there to the 100. Another one taking a big hit. Let's keep moving. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix was taking a big hit, was able to climb back, and I think that's an important thing. It climbed back some of that losses, went towards 327. We'll see if this actually gets a takedown or not. You can see kind of topping action, pullback. As long as it holds support right now, especially around that 320s, it's not going to look too bad. But we already filled the gap, right? Will this just be the topping action and we start coming back down on Netflix? I think that's something definitely to keep in mind. That could happen at any point in time. I'm still surprised we filled in that gap, but we did it. And so we'll see what happens now. Do we turn right back around to the downside, or do we keep continuing to climb the wall? Disney also was moving with kind of Netflix early, but now closing towards the high. Doesn't look too bad as long as we can keep holding that 100. I think that 100 is going to be so vital for, of course, the house of mouse. We'll see what other sectors are making moves. Real estate getting a little bit of a lift. I talked about that this morning that I seen the price action. Price action is telling me not to run away from residential construction, even though some of the analysts out there were this morning. We got RBC downgrading KB Homes and Lennar. So going to take a look at those. Those look like they're still being able to hang on. We'll see what happens in real estate. Real estate, not something I trade often. But ITB also tells me not to go anywhere near this, at least for right now. The trend has been strong. So I'm not going to go ahead and be shorting into that ITB or some of these kind of real estate plays. It's going to leave them alone. All right, let's keep going. Time to catch you guys up. What's up? What's the book for this month? I got you, Janie. Stick around. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. I'll actually show you guys the book a little bit. I'll give you guys a link if you guys want to start getting it. I am going to be working on getting an email out later today. Just got a lot on my plate. You guys know how it is. Always doing shows and always trying to do more for you guys. But KB Homes, we'll look to see if that can continue, get back up there towards the up gap of 36.18. Of course, that came off of the earnings. We'll look to see if it can get right back up there tomorrow, back through the 35.50. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is making moves. Consumer defensives getting a little bit of a bounce back. Grocery stores pushing back there. Kroger, not a bad move there. Definitely keep your eyes on this move. I kind of like this one today earlier. Going to look to start popping here. ACI is another one, of course. Albertsons. What's going to happen with that deal? We'll see what happens, how the stock performs. Casey's another one that I'd keep an eye on. It seems like Casey's General Stores just want to be strong. I've never personally been to a Casey's, but who knows? Sam's, another one in the beverages, and now we're getting to our brewers that is starting to get a little bit of a move back up. TAP has been really strong, but pulled back, of course, in December and now into early January. We're going to look to see if this can bounce a little bit, but these aren't anything that I would be jumping out of my shoes over, as it doesn't look like the biggest opportunity here, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there from the brewers. All right, farming products getting a little bit of a lift there. Cal-Maine Foods getting a little bit of a bounce here off the weekly and monthly levels. I would definitely be watching these levels to hold. The support around 52.50. Come back up roaring is something that I'll keep watch on Cal-Maine Foods. It did get a nice little lift. Let's see if it can get back up through the kind of this 58, pushing towards the 62s and 60s. Definitely going to keep watch on that one. Also, Colgate-Palmolive. Want to keep watch on some of these value plays. I feel like eventually the trade is going to go back to value, but of course that could take a while, right? Right now it seems like growth seems to be the driver right now. You guys can see ARC taking off today, getting a nice push there to 37.10. And let's talk about some of these stocks that had a good day today, right? Let's go towards ARKK names. What did well there? PACB looks like a diagnostics and research stock, having a really nice little push. Look at the chart. It really is starting to push. I'm going to actually put this one on our live trading radar, as this one's been doing really well. PACB, DNA, biotech, Ginkgo Bioworks, right? Starting to get its move back up. This one's kind of more of that short interest name. I wouldn't be jumping out of my seat for this. But TDOC even getting a little bit of a bounce back. Not looking bad, getting up there to 28.22. Tesla having a decent day, if anything, up there towards 131.59, having a really good time. Nice little VWAP bounce there that you got an opportunity to catch on that bounce. Now it's just going to be about a matter of can it hold these levels, work its way back towards 150. We'll see what happens there. Tesla getting the bounce. All right, CRISPR is another one, of course, biotech that could get strong and continue strong. Square is one that definitely caught the radar of many today, as this was getting a lift. Some people wanted to put it on blockchain. Some people wanted to put it on software. I say at the end of the day, it's up. That doesn't really matter what you're going to base it on. More along, just going to be the matter of what's the next levels. Does this have some room to run? I think this does have room to run at least back towards 76. We'll see what happens there if it meets this resistance towards 75, 77. Today, getting towards a high of 75.09. Let's see if it can really start pushing, getting the lift. PayPal is another one to keep watch on this. PayPal looks actually a little bit easier to even read right now. It looks like 78 acting as support. If it can keep going through 81, we'll keep it on watch. All right, we'll see what else is making moves in these kind of stocks. Let's keep moving. What was not hot today? Definitely basic materials. You saw silver turn around, gold, copper, especially FCX, SCCO, not the same moves that we were seeing, right? Starting to pull back significantly. We'll see what happens to these names. Also, steel pulling back. I wanted to pull out Cleveland Cliff. They had good news and still have a red tape. We'll look to see if this can play catch up tomorrow. I'll also be watching Nucor for that kind of move back to the upside. We'll see what happens on these names after they've been strong for about a couple of days. All right, catching up with the chat. What's going on out there, team? I tried to roll through as much as possible in like 10, 12 minutes. Now, the rest of the time is your time, chat. So you guys run the stream from now on. What stock should we look at? Throw it up in the chat. I'm going to quickly run through stocks that you guys are talking about, but let's keep going. All right, let's go towards that. I'm seeing a lot of talk out there. Tesla up 7. Whew, yeah, Tesla got good move today. At least just for the day, it's been a good ride. And it's been a good day trading vehicle. The only thing is you got to be careful with that overnight action in Tesla. That has been a little bit harder to deal with. Microsoft completely ignored the news. Yeah, Microsoft definitely shook that off right back up there towards the 240s. Really, you need to recover 260 to really get bullish, at least in my eyes for Microsoft, but it is making a little bit of a bounce. Delta, nice lift at the close. Let's take a look there. Delta is one that did take a hit with their earnings, right? Well, they're starting to climb the wall of worry. I think you got to keep this in watch, right? American Airlines in the green, closing into the green, into the 17s. The big one tomorrow, United Airlines. What will happen there? Getting a little bit of a spike here. We'll see what happens on UAL reporting tomorrow before the bell. What will happen then? Actually, I think it's after the bell. Let me just confirm that right quickly. You could just look at my Benzinga Pro. Sometimes I'm looking at so many earnings stocks. Let's just take a quick peek here, see where we're at. Got to take off this. Yep, after the market today. Yeah, after the market. And the EPS is expected at $2.10, 12.23 billion on the estimated revenues. So we'll see what happens there on UAL. Can it continue the lift after the aftermarket, after their earnings, of course? Will it get the pop back over, let's say, 51.75? This will be looking good if it can pop right back through that daily high and start really pushing. I mean, take a look at this overall. UAL, not looking too bad. We've talked about JETS, also the ETF. Look how this has continued. Look how this has just taken off there. Hasn't been a bad move at all in the JETS ETF. All right, we'll see what else is making moves. Industrials pulling back today. Deere with a nice little pullback. We'll look to see if this can hang on. Cat still staying strong, but pulling back fast as it went to a high today of 266. Now down to 256. As you guys can see from the intraday action, looks like this one turned around, but the cat's not out of the hat yet. Want to keep watching to see if Deere breaks down. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a stocks from the chat. Melly. Let's take a look at Melly. Melly is Mercado Libre. Let's take a look. Of course, I also take a look at it with Shop. A lot of times I look at these two and Melly with Amazon, and you can see how Melly just started playing catch up with Amazon. I'll show you guys that here. I can view it on the multiple charts here since we don't have Joel here. I can go ahead and kind of deter myself a little bit. Melly, and let's put Shop on the left. Ooh, SPY starting to drop there. Shop on the left, Melly in the middle, right? And then we'll put Amazon on the right-hand side. So when Amazon started this lift, look how Melly came following behind that one. That's a good outlook there. That's what you want to be seeing. Does it follow? And then look at Shop. Shop in that same day. Amazon was going up, but Shop was going sideways. Once we really started getting that breakout on Amazon and Melly, look how the volume started coming in on Shop. Look how the price action started pushing it back up. Well, those are all things that I look at. Leader-laggard, relationships. Dennis talks about it all the time. We got to know these relationships so that we can master these types of moves. All right, let's get back to the SPY as we are seeing a little bit of a decline right now. You guys can see we're starting to take a hit. I will let you guys know I did take a swing trade today, and that's on the cues to the short side. That's from around 281.93s. So the big thing for me is holding 283s on this upside outlook. If we are going to keep pushing, well, I'll get out of the trade. But if we're going to start crashing right back down, I want to be able to catch some of these back to the downside. So taking a little bit of a swing trade today. We'll see what happens with this trade. Like always, I think it really needs to kind of break down. Right now, it's not a breakdown. It's just kind of hanging out here, starting to come down. SPY overall starting to come down, but we're not really breaking down. We're just kind of getting a little bit of toppy action. One level that I am definitely watching. Do we close above the 200-day today? That's 396.90s. It looks like we're going to close above that, but hang on to your seats. We don't know until the close actually happens. We still got about 12 minutes left there. We'll see if the SPY is able to hold on. Mitch, is Tesla hold overnight? Well, it depends, I think, where you got it, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do with it. But if I got the stock, down here, probably below the 115s, and I was a swing trade, yeah, I wouldn't mind holding it a little bit. But if I did get the stock and I got it just like maybe today, and I got a nice little kind of 10.9 point win, oh, that doesn't seem too bad to take the profits. Like always, you just got to determine what's best for you, what's best on your risk to reward. And sometimes it's going to be, just going fast to the cash. And then sometimes it's not. It's all dependent on time frame, right? When you were getting into the trade. That's what I would more refer to. What was your ideas when you first got into the trade? Was it to have a swing trade back to 150? If that was your idea, then a lot of times I say stick to your original thinking. But like always, I think there's always to kind of two sides to that, right? Of course, you can either wait to try to get that big gain, or you can go ahead and just take the momentum, the intraday action, and just take what you can get sometimes. Nothing wrong with that outlook. All right, I'm going to run through some stocks that you guys are mentioning here. AMC, SPY Trader. I got stopped out in this one today, even though I saw the move to 6. If you guys talk about it and you guys can know, because you guys probably are a part of live trading, I got stopped out on this move right here, on this down move, but then the recovery came, and boy, was it nice. It did do that pop to 6. I was even looking at this to get the little pop to 6. So it wasn't too bad of a move there. Can't blame you if you were able to get it. I know I'm a little degenerate for going for it, but it wasn't that bad. Now from 6, that's where it starts getting a little bit tough on AMC, I think. And you can see this on Triple BY as we did get a little bit of a lift, but it's just been going sideways. Will this trade eventually break down? That's one thing that we need to keep in mind. Of course, the dash for trash has been strong. We talked about how GME looked like an even better chart today. That continued today, went through the high of the 2050, now closing towards 2150. So hope you guys were able to nail some of these plays, even though I know they're not the biggest plays, the meme plays. They're not the funnest plays. And some people try to avoid these at all costs. But hey, traders will be traders. If you ain't fading, you ain't trading. That's what Dennis would tell me. Hasbro, let's take a look there. Hasbro, let's see what happened there. Let's see if it can get the next lift through the 66 level. Now you got in 1, 2, 3, 4 levels all around there. That's a 5-star level for me. If you're going to have 4 stars, that's four levels right above this. I'm going to give it to the 66.25 area. So look for that 66.25 to act as resistance. We'll see if we're able to get through it tomorrow. You guys can see on the 15-minute, we've been holding resistance right above here. We'll look to see what happens tomorrow around 66.25. Can it get through there? If not, watch out for the lows, 64.90s. You could cut through. We're rolling fast. Yeah, we are. Mara and Riot, why are they running? Well, they're running just because of course, the Bitcoin move, right? That's why they're moving. Cryptocurrency move up. And high short interest. These are the stocks that get the January effect. Now, is this going to be short-lived? That's one thing that you need to keep in mind, right? I think these are short-lived pops. Maybe you can even get back here towards this prior support, 940s, but I don't expect too much more than that. We got up there to the 840s today. Not a bad day there for Mara. You can see here in the intraday action, you tried to get through this level 1, 2, 3. On this 4th attempt, you couldn't get through it. started rejecting back through support. Now it's trying to make its way back. We'll look to see if we can get through that 870 area, especially 875. If it can do that, it can keep pushing. If not, it could just fail and start breaking back down. All right, been sitting on my hands. Yeah, I'm guessing he said sitting there, but I got you blind. Been sitting on my hands today as I took some nice profits recently. There's nothing wrong with that, blind trader, especially on moments like this. Sometimes we're going to get into a play. Let's say you were playing to the upside and you did take some profits. Let's say, I don't know, it could have been Friday, right? Well, the way that I would be thinking about that is that I have to wait now to get back into the market. I can't just jump back in the market and play upside because that doesn't really make sense. I just played the swing to the upside. So now I'm almost in a wait and see mode. This is where it matters more and more about what your goals are and how much do you really need to trade. Because if you're like me, you know that you don't need to trade every single day, well, you could just stay on the sidelines. But of course, if you're like more like Dennis Dick, that, you know, your well-being is determined by your trading, well, then you might have to go ahead and trade, right? You might have to find another play, right? Well, always find what works best for you, your personality, and what necessarily your goals are, your financial goals, that being that. And I think that's what matters most. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other stocks. You guys are keep rolling. I'm going to try to keep rolling. Let's go. Oh, man, Joel is on vacation. Yeah, he's enjoying it. I can't blame him. He deserves it. All right, look at Xcella, says Bug Log. I'll take a look at that. Look at that. 9-cent stock ripping through the moon. Well, we won't talk about a 9-cent stock, Bug, but at least you got me to put it up. Any earnings tonight? Yeah, UAL earnings, right? We'll see what happens there on United. There's some other ones too. Like always, you guys can catch all these on our calendar widget, of course, on Benzinga or even benzinga.com for that matter. If you want to go ahead and find what stocks are reporting, there is some more financial, some more bank stocks that are reporting tonight. But United Air Holdings definitely reporting tonight. Keep it on your radar, team. And we also got our earnings calendar, right? You guys can catch this on our Twitter at Benzinga. Add us, give us a follow right now. And of course, get the picture. You guys can add this and keep watch. This can help you find those moves. We'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some different stocks. Just going to keep rolling through the chat, see what's out there. PSNY being mentioned in the chat. Let's go to that. That's a Polestar, right? Not doing much. It is getting a little bit of a bounce. Really need this to hold. This is anything. This is nothing that I'd want to be in front of, right? It's nothing I want to just jump into. This needs to change trend. Right now, the trend's your friend until it isn't. All right, the SPY now, we'll take a look at it. Looks like we're starting to head down there towards 397.19s. We'll look to see if we take out those lows. Talked about would we crack right back below the 200-day moving average, which is 396.90s. Right now, we're at 397.50s. Don't think we'll get down there, but we got close. We went down there towards 397.16. We got about 5 minutes left here, team. All right, going to keep going. We'll take a look out there. I would trade my family if I could. Well, that's tough, man. No worries. Just trade them back. GE being brought up in the chat. That's a good one to take a look at. It's been so strong. Staying strong today, but going sideways. I think this is important to mention, right? Then now you're starting to see a little bit more slowdown in that GE. What a move it's been since the 4th when it did the split, right? That was already a 17% move. Not a bad one if you're able to catch that. What also gives me a sign that this is slowing down is Honeywell slowing down. Look at the setup that Honeywell had today as you were coming back up through, and you can see it on the trend line. You could see that you were trying to pop up there towards the 217. It really quickly turned around and came right back towards 212. So if I don't see Honeywell right back up there, I'm going to be a little bit careful with that GE chart, as I think that could start turning around. We'll see what happens there in those diversified industrials. And of course, we've talked about Deere and Cat and how those are starting to slow down. Paccar is one definitely to keep watch. I'm going to see if we get a rejection of 100 again. Looks like that couldn't really hold today. Looks like it's pulling back probably closer towards that 100. We'll see if it's able to catch the bounce. All right, off-topic question, but anyone knows the margin percentage age to trade ES contracts? I'm not. I mean, I would guess 21. It could be 18, but I'm not going to give financial advice here. I don't even know exactly. So I don't have the rules in front of me or anything like that. So Raj, I will go ahead and look into it. I can try to find out. I'll try to get you a better answer of that a little bit later. All right, Sabrina bringing up UNP. All right, let's go. UMP, some railroads. Don't hear this mentioned by our chat often. Let's take a look. All right, if you look at the railroads, what I like to do is on the railroads is move more towards like a weekly or a monthly because they don't move too often, right? On the daily chart, they have a tendency of going up, down, up, down, up, down. So with that being said, I look at it a little bit like a monthly chart, right? It's trying to show me where the support is, try to give me the best risk to return. And I think that that's the important part here. Now we look to see like we just bounced off of that 200, started to try to make our way back. You really want to get back here through December high, 221.71. So that's what we're going to be looking for, 221s to really start showing up. If you can start closing above that, you'll look to bullish for a nice little bullish upside move in UNP. All right, one more. The Dukla GoPro. Let's go. G Pro. I haven't seen G Pro brought up in a long time. When's the last time I drew some lines on here? Let me see. Created on, all right. So I somehow looked at this on December. Oh no, that was 21. Woohoo! I updated this in September 15th, right? And I created this line on 2021, December 22. So that just goes to show us that this has been in a decline since then, since up here, essentially. Since up here, it's just been in a straight decline. So get out of that trend, right? Get out of that trend first. Get me to $7. Then I'll take a look at this. Until then, I'm staying the hell out. But it could get a move up there to 650. It's just nothing that I'm looking for. I look for stocks that are starting to trend, not necessarily just to buy it at the bottom. Buy a falling knife, not necessarily my strategy. All right, we'll see what else is going on there. Looks like there's some dividends on that UNP. Nothing looking too bad there, at least for the dividend. All right, that's going to do it for us. It's 3:59. Time to put the pencils down. Going to keep the cues on there, even though we're getting a little bit of a rise here towards the close. I'm just going to stay towards my risk tomorrow. It's a smaller trade. Really just want to see if the trade starts breaking down. I'm in the green right now. Could take the money and run, but it's not much. Just going to let it work here. We'll see what happens. SPY overall came down there towards around 397.16. Bounced. We'll see what happens after the close. Of course, UAL reports after the close. Don't miss that, team. And of course, if you guys want to catch more of these earnings, stick right here on Benzinga. As later in the week, we'll start getting into the earnings call. We like to put them out there so that you guys can find them easily. Especially next week, we'll have a lot of these earnings call. But this week, on Thursday, Netflix, don't miss it. Got my man, of course, going to be interviewing Michael Proctor for Netflix. We got, of course, our one and only. You guys don't want to miss it. My man's going to be joining us. Don't miss it there. Nick Brown, you guys know him. And look at UAL's earnings. They just hit. Look how the algorithms bring it to 52.05, then right back down to 51. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys out of here so you guys can catch that action. It's just hitting the tape. UAL earnings. Stop the clock. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early on PreMarket Prep. And I know someone asked me about the book. I know Change Agent already gave it out there. But, of course, Trading in the Zone is the book that we're going to be doing for the book club, the first book club, at least the first book for the book club. If you want to go ahead and get that book already, I will go ahead up and throw up the Amazon link here so you guys can go ahead and do it. This is my favorite book. I actually have it in PDF version already. But with that being said, I might actually get the standard copy so I could show you guys it. It's my favorite trading book. You got to have it. You got to check it out, team. We'll see what happens. Don't miss it. UAL putting a little bit of a moon candle right now. We'll see what happens with all the action. Like always, smash the like. We'll see you guys. And I hope that you guys are joining us in the book club. I've put out that link plenty of times. I'll put it out one more time for you guys to join if you haven't done so already. Got to go ahead and get it. Definitely on order now. And who knows? Take all those used ones before everybody can take them, because I have a feeling those cheaper ones will go. You got Autobook, Kindle options, or maybe just go to the library. Yes, I said it. You can go to your local library. Check it out, team. We'll see you guys like always. Hit the like button, and definitely this Sunday, join us for the book club.